Obama started spending like our credit cards have no limit. His healthcare law made health insurance even more expensive. We've had stimulus and bailouts. Obama added almost $16,000 in debt for every American. How will my kids pay that off when they can't even find jobs? Now Obama wants more spending and taxes. That won't fix things. I had so many hopes. Cutting taxes and debt and creating jobs. That's the change we need. Tell President Obama to cut the job-killing debt and support the New Majority Agenda at newmajorityagenda.org.
From Iraq and Afghanistan, our brave warriors are coming home, wounded. Some with wounds you can see, some with wounds you can't see. Wounded Warrior Project was created to support our men and women coming off the battlefield. Please help carry these warriors the rest of the way home. Get involved at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Feeling lonely this holiday season? Looking for little human interaction? Do you want to feel contact in certain special places?
Then why not go through security at an airport?
The TSA.
TSA agents are ready and standing by to give you a little something extra to feel thankful about this holiday season.
The TSA.
What are you waiting for? I want to check under your testicles.
Spending time with a TSA agent couldn't be easier. Simply book a flight departing from any American airport. When selected for a full body scanner, say no. You'll be pulled aside by a TSA agent, and that's when the fun begins. And you never know who your agent will be. It could be me. Or me. Or even me.
But it's probably gonna be us. Take off your damn shoes.
The TSA. It's our business to touch yours.
Welcome to the Bureau of Womanhood Conformity. Independent thoughts are considered subversive because all must agree with our leader.
When it comes to women, preventive care should include coverage of contraceptive services such as birth control.
You see, if you don't believe government should pay for your birth control, you're not a real woman. Womanhood denied. If you refuse to accept that pregnancy is a punishment, you're denied as well.
I don't want them punished with a baby.
If you don't believe that abortions should be allowed for any reason, if you don't believe in aborting a child for being the wrong gender, and if you don't believe that stay-at-home mothers aren't real workers, you are not a real conformed woman.
His wife has actually never worked a day in her life. His wife has actually never worked a day in her life.
Finally, for your safety, if you oppose mandatory government health care, you will die.
They will be voting to say that women can die on the floor.
These standards and regulations were formed after our glorious victory in the war on women. Thank you for your cooperation and your conformity.
Today is a special day. Today we gather as a nation and as an international community to recognize the selfless decision of one of the most influential women of our time. She's been recognized by religious figures and politicians around the world. To us, she's just Rachel. But to the rest of the world, she is the woman who, after having one too many drinks, chose not to drive home buzzed. Here today to honor Rachel is the family whose lives she spared.
Save a life. Don't drive buzzed. Buzz driving is drunk driving. I was in chronic pain. And my family struggling to make ends meet, food and gas prices going up, even keeping my job was iffy. Then I learned about a new miracle drug made in Washington, D.C., Spenditol. Spenditol is Washington's answer to all the painful problems Americans face. How to borrow $800 billion for a stimulus that didn't create jobs or fix the economy? Spenditol.
Spenditol is not for everyone. Side effects may include a mountain of government debt piled on our kids, a sudden loss of freedoms, higher prices for everything, leaving our kids a lesser America than we had. Ask your doctor or congressman if your conscience is strong enough for Spenditol.
And it's so popular in Washington, we have to import trillions more of it from China. Spenditol makes you feel better now and pushes off the really bad stuff till later, for them to deal with.
Call the White House and Congress. Tell them, stop spending it all.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show.
And we are back. Hey, folks, if you haven't liked me yet, or liked my fan page yet over on Facebook, you probably want to do that because we're going to be doing a lot of stuff this year over there on Facebook. It's where we will be announcing a new contest or the sweepstakes giveaway right here on the Rod Eccles Show is going to have later this month. We'll begin a contest where you'll actually be able to win. Listeners will get the chance to win a real prize. And there'll be a couple of them. I haven't decided exactly how many. If I'll just have a couple of first places or first, second, and third. Haven't worked out those tiny, tiny details yet. But those details are coming. They will be posted on rodeccles.com and on Facebook, on the page on Facebook. And so you're going to want to go over there and like the page over there on Facebook, and it'll also be announced on Google Plus, Google Circles, whatever they call it. Not LinkedIn though. We're not. LinkedIn is. We're going to be utilizing a lot of changes coming this year, folks. For me personally, as well as the show, and it's all going to be better. So don't worry, it's all going to be better. But LinkedIn is going to be. It's still going to be used by the Rod Eccles Show, but in a different format, in a different way. Then we'll be communicating with those people over there on LinkedIn. And right now we have on LinkedIn, there's well over 1,000 connections that we have on LinkedIn. And many of the, there's no way, I don't think there's a way for me to be able to prove it, but over 50%, well over 500 of those connections were not made by me. In other words, it wasn't made from me reaching out to them. It was all of you people out there reaching out to me. And yes, I have rejected some people over on LinkedIn as well. So they're rightful. And actually, in the beginning, I rejected quite a few people before I realized, well, maybe I shouldn't reject so many liberals. But if I didn't reject all those liberals in the earlier days, I would have well over 2,000 connections on LinkedIn right now. So we got LinkedIn. LinkedIn is going to be we're going to be start doing things a little bit differently over there on LinkedIn. You'll also want to be on the Facebook page because there's going to be some original or exclusive content on the Rod Eccles Show page on Facebook. And then, of course, so there'll be the rodeccles.com website, which is also going to be morphing. It's not. Don't feel bad. We will actually. I think we're actually going to be moving the site to a different service or server, a web host. That's it. We move to a different web host. So when we move to a different web hosting service later in the year, there'll be some more changes to the improvements to the website. So yeah, we're just sitting over here, and I've got some other announcements that'll be coming later in the month. A lot of good stuff happening over here. Unfortunately, it has to happen under the watchful. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe one of these days they'll talk radio, so-called amateur talk radio in the internet will be made illegal or regulated somehow. Look, they've been trying to get with the use of SOPA and other types of things to try to regulate the internet. So yeah, it's unfortunate that we have to constantly be vigilant for this stuff. I mean, you would think. Well, somebody asked me a question the other day. They just said, "Why do liberals hate liberty so much?" I just had to throw my hands up. I didn't have an answer. I didn't have a good, logical answer. I just, had to do the Jewish hand toss, throw your hands up and shrug your shoulders. I don't know. Why don't liberals like liberty? I don't know. Well, because, you would think that maybe because they're babies or something, they want somebody else to take care of them, but yeah, that can't be the original reason. And it can't be because, some of them are so learned and they think they're so smart that it can't be the parental instinct in them, because, most of them don't even think you should act like a parent. You should be, a lot of these liberals, they're more, they would rather give more freedom to their children than to their neighbor. Oh yeah, you can't squash your kid's imagination and creativity. If he says 2 + 2 is 5, well, you got to encourage that kind of thing. And then they become adults. Nope. There is a law now that states that 4 + 4 or 2 + 2 cannot be 5. And that if you say 2 + 2 is 5 and you're an adult, well, that's a misdemeanor and you will be fined and possibly jailed. That might be a little over-exaggerating, but that's the basis. That's the basic premise behind their thought. Oh, yeah, as a kid, you know what? Except for the alcohol thing, yeah, let them explore. How are they going to know who they are or what they like if you don't let them explore? But try to explore like that once you're 18 and they'll lock you up. Just saying. So we have this despite the deal, taxes are going to rise for most Americans. Anywho, while the tax package that Congress passed New Year's Day will protect 99% of Americans from an income tax increase, most of them will still end up paying more federal taxes in 2013. I thought all of this was so we wouldn't pay more taxes. Isn't the president saying, well, I'm not going to raise taxes on middle class. I refuse to raise taxes on middle class. It's the rich people that aren't paying their fair share. They're the only ones and during this campaign, they're the only ones that are going to pay more taxes under me. They need to pay their fair share. You middle class people, you're not going to pay more taxes. Well, guess what? As I have told you, and as every true conservative voice has told you, you were lied to directly to your face. And I still have people over on Facebook telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm brainwashed. Rod, you're brainwashed, man. Our taxes aren't going up. Well, here it is. That's because the legislation did nothing to prevent a temporary reduction in... Why is that? It's okay to have an Obama temporary reduction in the Social Security payroll tax. But it's expiring. That 2% point cut in the payroll tax is worth about $1,000 to a worker making $50,000 a year. Oh. But there's also the flip side. And some people are finding this in a shocking manner. You know that 2% reduction? Well, that also coincides with the reduction in your benefits.